We all have those things we believe to be true, facts that sound so convincing, they become part of our everyday knowledge. But what if I told you some of these facts are completely wrong? And what's even more surprising? People still believe them. In this video, we're going to dive into some of the most common misconceptions and debunk myths that have been passed down through generations. Prepare to have your mind blown. First off, let's talk about Napoleon Bonaparte. You've probably heard that he was short, right? In fact, many people picture Napoleon as a tiny man, one of the most famous short men in history. But guess what? He wasn't short at all. He was actually about 5 feet 7 inches, average height for his time. The myth likely comes from confusion between French and English measurements. So no, Napoleon wasn't a giant among men. He was just a regular-sized guy in a world full of tall soldiers. Now, onto another classic, we only use 10% of our brains. This one is so widely believed, it's almost a fact in itself. But here's the truth, it's complete nonsense. The reality is, we use almost every part of our brain. Different regions of the brain handle different functions like movement, memory, language, and problem solving. Neuroscientists can even track brain activity during sleep, showing that every part has a purpose. So, the next time someone tells you you're only using a fraction of your brain, feel free to correct them. Let's talk about Vikings for a second. Did you know that the idea of Vikings wearing horned helmets is completely false? We've all seen the movies and cartoons, those fierce warriors with horns sticking out of their helmets. But here's the truth, there's no historical evidence that Vikings wore horned helmets. In fact, Vikings were known for practical, durable gear. The horned helmet myth probably came from 19th century romantic art, which exaggerated their image. So, as cool as it looks in the movies, it's just a fantasy. And how about the Great Wall of China? We've all heard the saying, you can see the Great Wall from space. But this is another myth that just won't die. While the Great Wall is massive, it's not visible from space with the naked eye. Astronauts have confirmed that it's very hard to spot, and in fact, there are many other man-made structures that are far easier to see from space. It's another one of those myths that just got way too big over time. And let's not forget about goldfish. How many times have you heard that goldfish have a memory span of just a few seconds? Well, get ready for this, goldfish actually have pretty good memories. Studies have shown that goldfish can remember things for months. They can even be trained to perform tasks and recognize their owners. So no, goldfish aren't forgetful little creatures, they just have a lot going on in their tiny fish brains. Finally, let's touch on the myth of the 5-second rule. You know the one, if you drop food on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds, it's still clean, right? Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but that's just not true. Bacteria can transfer to food almost instantly. In fact, the amount of time food spends on the floor is far less important than the cleanliness of the surface it lands on. So, next time you drop that slice of pizza, don't risk it, just toss it. The truth is, these myths stick around because they sound believable and sometimes, we just don't question them. But now, you're in the know. Remember, just because something is popular doesn't mean it's true. This was Trivia Tales, where myths are busted, and truth reigns supreme. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below with any myths you've heard that you think need debunking.